Hello, hello, and we say good evening to all of you this moment of your time. It is our great pleasure to meet you, and we thank you for extending to us this opportunity to co-create and expand together. As every time beings like you and ourselves come together, there's this unification, this merging of dimensions into a new reality that allows beings from all planes, you could say, to come to know themselves as source more clearly. So we thank you for these beautiful reflections you offer us and the beautiful uh, efforts that you take in following your own passion and transforming your reality, as that transformation ripples into every other reality. And this is why we come to assist, as we know that the more energy that we share with many beings throughout this multiverse, the more that we experience the benefits in the expansion, and the more all experience the same. We speak on behalf of a Pleiadian council and together in a galactic alliance with many other extraterrestrial groups. And as you open these portals to these realms, there are many different connections that happen between your soul and your spiritual guides. So, here in this space today, many different beings will step forward, and your imagination is the tool with which you receive the energies and the information that these beings have to share with you. You have come to see your imagination as simply something that makes things up. Yet, really, this part of you is a lens through which you see unseen layers of reality. It is a tool through which you can make connections that go beyond the seen evidence and help you access a higher inner knowing. And this deep inner knowing and the knowing that cannot be explained through material evidence is coming to reawaken on your planet to help all of you gain a deeper and clearer connection with your own sovereign truth and your own spiritual essence. And as we come to assist you, we hope to clarify for you any new ideas that you wish to express and experience in your reality. The essence of our message in which we wish to impart to you is that of a free and empowered love. That whatever you love, that is your purpose. And when you allow yourself to fully love and you clear every obstacle to that love that you hold within you, there comes to be a great force of passion that in a way takes you and rides you into your dreams. And all you must really do from that perspective is release the ideas and the resistances within you to this true expression of love. And with that said, we would hope to support you in the unique ways that you are facing that resistance to love so that we can help you bring about a more love-based, love-filled reality for you and all beings on your planet. So you may begin at any point you wish, and we will answer and reflect to the best of our own ability.
Do you want to go first, Jonathan? Because it's your birthday? Okay, I can go first. Well, just thank you for coming and meeting us again.
Oh yes, we thank you.
And I think we're all really happy to be here. And thank you to Dante as well. And I guess I'd like to ask a question about something that's been happening with my mom and I recently.
Oh yes.
We just went to Mount Shasta, and it was like we got this massive download of energy together about this idea for a documentary I'm going to be making.
Yes.
And I feel like the idea is inspired by the ETs.
Yes.
And so traveling to these different sacred sites all around the planet and making this documentary. And so we've been having all these visions and ideas come through for it, and I was wondering if there's any sort of expansion upon the vision or information you can share, because we're both here and it's like a very fresh idea.
Well, this is a very exciting path for you, and it's not something that has been really done in the way that you're seeing it on your planet before. So, congratulations is the first thing we would say.
Thank you.
What locations have you considered so far?
All the major chakra points and the two
Yes.
major vortices, Sedona and the pyramids.
Yes. Well, we would say as well to not simply limit yourself to seeing from the perspective of the chakras as many view it. We would encourage you to really look at all of the different ways that you have come to metaphorically align these vortices with your human body chakras. We wouldn't say that it directly correlates and that your earth has a root chakra and a throat chakra, though there is a metaphorical connection that humans draw, and there is a similar vibrational resonance that will activate those chakras for you when you go to these locations. So sharing your own experience by going to all the locations and sharing your reflections on the many different ways that this information is channeled by individuals in your reality will sort of create a very complete perspective and unique perspective on what's really going on.
Okay, so one of the ideas was for each energy spot to have a ET channeling about the and bringing forth the energies of the locations. What do you
Yes,
think about that?
that would be very exciting. And you have many different channels in mind.
I'm sort of fluctuating between one or specific ones for each spot that sort of match the locations.
Yes. Well, both of these ideas could play out well. And we see that the power of diversity allows for a more universal perspective to float in, as many different individuals coming together can make the intrinsic essence more visible through the diverse takes on the same idea.
Hmm.
Have you thought of going to Angkor Wat in Cambodia?
No, I've heard of it.
We
but-
would suggest this to add to your list.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Anywhere else?
The mountain Tiruvannamalai in India.
Oh, Tier. Is that near the third eye chakra?
No.
Okay.
How's it different from the Himalayas?
Is that in the Himalayas?
But this is much more further south.
Okay. Tierra Munde Verlai?
Tiruvannamalai.
Vunamalai, okay.
Yes, this mountain has a very specific energy connected to the avatar presence of what you consider Lord Shiva. Now, you will find many different locations as you embark upon this journey, so do not simply limit yourself to those that are already there. Your intuitive connection will help you expand and access these more hidden locations.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah,
Yes.
thank you so much.
Yes, our love and thanks to you.
Do you have anything about that? Okay, it's okay.
Okay, well, okay. Maybe this is kind of complicated, but so with this film, how do I say this? So with this film that we're going to be doing and producing, are there ways that you could suggest to help funding so we can get to all the places we need to go to create this film?
Have you any creative ideas for abundance yourself? For if there is a will, there are many ways. Though you must use your own creativity and find which one aligns most for you.
Struggling with the creativity for it,
All right.
other than the traditional means.
Yes. Well, at this time on your planet, there are many forms of what you consider crowdfunding. So, attuning to people who have a similar interest and could support such a vision, and especially those who are part of maybe bigger organizations that are in alignment with unveiling many of this ancient wisdom, will be of assistance for you. You may consider that it is, in some sense, it's a longer term project. So, trusting every step of the journey will be very helpful. And when you sort of get others on board, you may find other collaborators, and you actually may find that you do not need to go to every location. And there are certain locations that you find when you make a great list of all that seem very important that you can go to, and some that other collaborators may be able to go to, and you can weave that web together. Now, we are simply giving you many different ideas, and the ones that resonate for you will be the ones that you can take away. Though the core underlying fabric of all of this is the personal belief and trust that it will pan out when you can keep that consistent, the love that you feel and pour into the project will continue to return to you in synchronistic ways at the right time.
Thank you.
Yes, our thanks to you.
So I have another question.
Yes.
Unless anybody else does. So, do you have a connection with souls that have recently passed?
We don't personally have that connection, but we can take a look.
I have a my son passed away a month ago, so we're still struggling with that. And we've had a couple channelings, and he's been able to come through, but it brings a lot of peace when he comes through.
Yes.
And it would just be nice to see if you can tap into his energy and bring
Yes.
something forward.
All right, one moment. Yes, he's coming into the space again. So stay attuned to his presence in your own way. We can sort of translate for him. We feel this great degree of love and compassion and an understanding on his part that this soul agreement has come through to support bigger levels of transformation. And as he finds his solace in source on this other side, he wants you to know that this gives you a key into the great powers that be upon the other side. So as you embark upon the journey you have just spoken about, his presence will guide you along the way and will be able to help you gain greater insight into experiences and phenomena occurring on the other side.
Thank you.
Yes. Anything more you would like to know about him as he comes forward?
Oh wow. What about you, Liz?
What is he doing up there? What's he working on?
Well, upon returning into spirit, all souls go outside of the fabric of time and space that you know to be your experience. So there seems to be on your side this gradual shift and transition that is again the distortion that you generate through your experience of linear time. As soon as a soul truly leaves and returns into spirit from their experience, there is a complete blissful return into that experience of source. And any fragmentation that occurs on your end is simply a phantom impression. It is not the real them, though it may be a part of them. And in relating to that part left over, you come to experience the union with their higher self. So he as a soul has united with his higher self, and it is a sort of multidimensional and blissful connection to many other incarnations and many other layers of reality that he can now tap into. And in this experience, his consciousness is moving through all of these levels and layers of time and space. So it is quite hard for us to fully express to you what those who pass forward really experience, because it is an experience that does not operate through your physical reality. Though it is one of great love and of great inner knowing and understanding of oneself as part of Source. So he is in many senses beyond himself, and for that reason he can appear and show up in your reality at any time. And he is also showing up in his own way in many other realities and dimensions, and getting that ability to travel, you could say.
Thank you.
Yes, our thanks to you.
Hi, my name is Jonathan, and I say thank you
Yes.
for visiting.
Oh, our thanks to you as well.
I have a question.
Yes.
What are you aware of what happens when we die? Are we reincarnated? Is there a master creator of souls or something? That's
Well,
in the bigger mix.
all right. So, yes and no is the simplest answer. So let us elaborate that you as a soul are a unique and sovereign entity, and there is no soul like you, though you are a part of a great oversoul. So consider the oversoul is a container for all of the incarnations that you would consider past or future lifetimes, or lifetimes on other planets, or lifetimes within elemental realms, such as the fairy realm or the nature spirit realm. And when you enter into physical reality, part of that oversoul splits off in order to create you as a unique and sovereign being. Now, when you go back into spirit, your identification with the physical body and the mental body and all of these other layers of you simply merge back into one field where there is no more an identification of this as self. And your soul retains that unique vibrational essence that can be its signature when it re-enters other realities as an apparition, as a spirit, as a visitor. And it also then begins to experience itself as oversoul and as spirit. So the oversoul itself knows itself to be spirit, yet a unique packet of information that makes many different layers of reality function. So the experience of reincarnation is really a distortion based on your experience of linear time. Now, being incarnated into linear time makes humans experience things as having a cause and effect and a past, present, and future, when in reality, everything is occurring simultaneously. So when you enter into these visionary states in which you connect with spirit, your oversoul and your higher mind begin to send information to you. So all of these past life visions are real parts of your own oversoul that are making connection with you. They are other versions of your soul essence that have a commonality or even a polar difference that is informative and helpful for both souls to learn and exchange together. So this current of energy that vibrates between two souls can be a talent or a gift. It can be a trauma. It can be a relationship, or it can be a simple preference that spills between one lifetime and another. And as in every moment you yourself are shifting between an infinite amount of parallel realities, you are always making different connections to different parts of your own oversoul. Some of these oversoul connections stay with you through significant chapters of your life. Some of them phase in and out within 10 seconds, and some of them show up at different points in your life. Now, you could say that when you walk into a room and talk to a psychic, the past lives that they will show you will change as soon as you become informed about those past lives. And it is such that you are in a constantly changing quantum field, that whenever you bring your awareness to one aspect of creation, the whole thing changes. And this is a very complex and challenging thing for humans to begin to understand when you have been trained to see things as fixed and stagnant or solid, when really it is always changing as soon as you look at it and as soon as you define it in some way. So, in other words, all of your past lives are very real, though they're very different versions of yourself. And the relationship you have between these different aspects of yourself supports you in evolving. Does that make sense to you? Can you play with that?
Yes, that makes absolute sense.
All right.
Funny enough as that sounds, thank you.
Oh, yes, our thanks to you as well.
I have a question.
Yes.
Thanks for coming.
Oh, we thank you for coming as well.
My son is on a difficult path. Can you see that path? And what is it?
Well, we can see infinite paths because, again, in every nanosecond, it is changing and splitting into many different probable futures. And it is that choice point that you respond to again and again that determines the future.
Can I rephrase? is there anything she can do or be aware of to better help him
Oh,
along
all right.
his path?
What are the challenges he experiences now on his path? What is his passion?
Gaming. He likes big gaming.
All right. Does that concern you?
The gaming?
Yes.
No.
Is there anything
Is that
else?
it?
No. No.
And what are the
What are
challenges?
the concerns?
Concerns are his anxiety and depression, mental health.
Yes. Is he in touch with his truest and greatest desires?
No.
Do you speak with him about this?
It's hard to.
Why is it hard?
He's not responsive.
Yes. Though you do all that you can to attempt to go to these deeper places with him,
Yes.
are there certain therapies that he might be open to that you've considered?
He's not open.
All right. So, what age is your son?
25.
All right. Well, we would say most of these choices for healing must come with great free will. And when there are deeper resistances there, sometimes the most important thing to do is to allow them to have that choice and know that part of why there may be a feeling of depression or anxiety is an inner feeling of futility and inadequacy. So when you come and attempt to solve this issue for him, it actually pushes that button of inadequacy and futility so that if he really would begin to talk about it, he would then collapse into that feeling more, which he is working quite hard to avoid. So you need to be, in that sense, very mindful of what the deeper struggle is and allow him to have his time and space in that process, and also have maybe light nudges into getting the subject forward. Instead of attempting to ask him about it, will he be open to simply doing something fun with you?
Yes.
So focus on those things that bring him the most joy and do those activities. And when he finds himself unsuspecting, and when he feels and you feel that you are not worried for him, you are simply open and ready to help him if he wants, his resistance will be diminished to begin chiseling away at what this resistance may be. Though take it step by step. And for now, simply focus on what brings you to feel joy and connection and safety together. And from then on, you will begin that process of unraveling.
Thanks.
Yes, our thanks to you as well.
Better learn how to play some video games.
Right?
Oh, that's awesome.
Game away.
Game on.
I have a question.
Yes, yes.
I don't really know what it is yet. I'm trying to
All
figure
right.
that out. So
We
thank
don't
you
know
for
either.
being here.
Our thanks to you as well.
My name is Diana, and I'm here with my daughter, Destiny.
Hello to you both.
Thank you. Her dad passed away
Yes,
a number of years ago,
yes,
and we're just wondering if you pick up on him, or
yes, we do. And he's stepping forward as you ask for his support and connection.
does he have anything to say that he wants us to know?
He is sorry for having to have left you at a time that seems not fair to everyone involved. It was not his conscious intention, though at the soul level he came to remember what his mission was upon leaving, and he does feel complete, as all souls eventually come to experience in their return to spirit. his love for you is very great, and that support and compassion is always with you. Do you have a specific question for him?
I do. I guess.
Yes.
Does he have anything to say that might be able to help me move past the pain from that and everything else in my life?
Well, he really wants you to feel better. His wish for you is to experience through his presence that unconditional love of spirit that he experiences on the other side. So by developing that stronger connection with him and realizing that he hasn't really left you, he's simply entered into spirit, and as you are all spirit, you can develop that connection with him. He can be a teacher for you to meet many other different spirit guides and allies that can keep you in that firm connection to love.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
And we do, again, emphasize that there is this great power of love and this gratitude in that the presence and space that you have held for him in this incarnation has allowed his oversoul to work through many powerful karmic patterns that are transmuting through all of you now. And the satisfaction with this incarnation, while cut short, is very powerful for him, and it has been a very blissful reunion with many other souls for him in his new journeys. So you could always call him forward and bring those objects that were sacred to him or pictures of him that are dear to you in your altar space so that you can feel that presence on a more regular basis.
Thank you.
Our thanks to you as well, yes. Any other questions you would like to share with us at this time?
I have one more question.
All right.
I've been through a lot in my life. Not as much as most, but more than often. Sometimes things get going so good, and then it's all torn away from me constantly in my life.
Yes.
And it's completely out of my control. And it's a recurring event in my life. And I'm the happiest I've been that I can remember. And I'm just... Am I where I need to be?
Yes. You are always where you need to be.
I don't know.
Well, what we hear in your asking is this sort of uncertainty that feels as if the universe could pull up the carpet from beneath you.
Yes.
Why do you suppose that to be true? Simply from these experiences?
It keeps happening.
All right. Well, we say that this is a law of attraction-based universe, and you will always receive more of the emotions that you hold on to. So when you are feeling this uncertainty, feeling this vague danger, and you keep focusing there, you keep focusing on the things that make you feel that danger, and you don't question what is the belief, what is the trauma perhaps that keeps me hooked into this danger, you will again generate that experience. And so what you really need to do to free yourself is to release the emotional charge from these past events, to fully accept them, and you can even actually create new memories by going back and reviewing memories from your childhood and memories from your adult life that have this similar emotional charge of powerlessness, we would say, is the key word that could summarize this theme. And change those memories by playing new movies in your mind, picturing different things that happen, considering what you have learned from this that you can now teach to younger versions of yourself. And as you teach them those lessons and you allow them to apply those lessons to create new scenes, you can start to play these new movies in your consciousness. And the belief systems will then release from you. This process is one permission slip for really the core of it, which is an emotional release of the fear-based beliefs and the chemical constituents that they create, which means releasing through crying, through simply feeling the presence and allowing that emotion to create and generate the sensation that moves through your body, through sighing, through speaking or shouting. There are many ways that you release the emotional charge, but when you can really get in touch with that feeling of fear and allow it to channel through you, it will no longer be a magnetic force that draws forward the same sorts of experiences. So when you can keep yourself in that balanced state of love, you will continue to receive love. And the fear that you feel is just an indication that it's time for you to look deeper within to transform those fears into love.
I get it.
Yes. That makes sense to you?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you.
And are you ready to play with that?
Yes.
So, again, what if I always say making all of this work into play and playing with it is a helpful thing, because when you play, you have no attachment to the outcome. When you are playing, you are simply in the moment and experiencing all of the joy and the infinite possibility of every present moment. When you really feel that in the next moment and everything could change and you could make choices that would bring about the greatest degrees of change, you feel this wonder and this awe in the sense of all that could be. And it is this play without seeking a specific sort of outcome, or at least attaching to that specific outcome, that will allow you to find the flow, to surrender. And spirit enters you at that point and does the rest of the work, you could say. So keep playing and allow this work in probing into yourselves and into your beliefs and into your resistances be more like a game than a challenge. It is, of course, a challenge, but if it is first a game, that lightness will allow it to move much quicker. So, keep playing with it, yes.
Thank you.
Or thanks to you.
So I have one more thing.
Yes.
I want to say / ask for confirmation. So obviously we've got a couple people in this room that have people passed on.
Yes.
And it's like looking for... Sorry, this is going to be hard. So I didn't get to say goodbye. So it was unexpected.
Yes.
I didn't get to say goodbye. And I think this is what Diana and Destiny are looking for too, is I want my son to know how much I love him. And that I'm
Yes.
sorry I didn't get to say goodbye. And it would be nice to have like confirmation from him through you that he hears it and understands it.
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's just been having some sort of peace that, I mean, I know he's there and I know he's in spirit and we've had some communication, but just not get to say goodbye and having it so unexpected that he knows that I wished I had been there and I'd known.
Yes.
I just have some kind of a confirmation from him that he hears me.
He does hear you. And what it means to be in spirit is that spirit is oneness. So all souls that return to that level are omnipresent as part of creation. And he hears all of your prayers. He feels your pain. And this brings forward a great compassion from him. And he wants you to know that he understands that you must go through this great process of release that is not easy and is very painful. Yet, it need not be more hard than it is. And if you can trust that he is always with you and he hears every word you are saying, you can actually hear his response in your own heart. You can hear his response in your own inner voice. That spirits and beings from the other side can communicate with you all the time. And he is very willing to be a part of your team, supporting you, returning this information to you whenever you ask for his support. And his love for you is so great, so complete. And we are sorry for that experience that you experience in your reality of this loss. Though we want you to know that in every moment that you experience this loss, you experience this challenge it brings, the opening to love that you find will allow for a sort of transformation beyond what you would expect.
Thank you so much.
Yes, our thanks to you as well. Something more we can share?
I don't know. Love to sit and have a conversation with him right now, but I guess
You are.
I know.
Yes.
It's just, it's hard,
Yes.
you know? There's some,
Yes. Well, as we have said, you can speak to him at any time. So it can be a beautiful permission slip for you to learn that by creating that space that may include some of your favorite memories and connections of him, and simply speaking out loud to it, and know that he hears your words. And with time you'll get used to this, and you'll start to know that he also hears your thoughts. And simply by speaking out loud in that container, you'll accelerate that process of your own release, and you'll also accentuate that connection to feel how he hears. You can then come to listen to his response through the dance of the universe, as his energy field has this stronger presence in your reality now. He can continue to affect the environment around you as you continue to activate your interaction with him. So let that be something you can play with a bit, is to make that ritual for yourself of dedicating time to be actively communicating. And it may seem as if something you are just imagining at first, though with time we can assure you that it will be experienced as a true telepathic connection that serves you in powerful ways.
that sounds nice.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, our thanks to you as well.
Were you gonna ask a question?
That was beautiful.
I probably should, huh?
No, there's no shit.
Yes,
If you want.
if you wish.
So I've been really struggling with like going to Israel and meeting my father's family.
Yes.
I just need help, like not feeling afraid of being vulnerable
Yes.
and going there by myself. And I just need to make the next step, and I made every excuse not to.
Is this truly your highest passion?
I think so.
Do you think so, or do you know so? Do you feel your heart is pulling you and you simply must follow?
Oh God. Yeah.
All right. Then what do you fear?
Being vulnerable.
Vulnerable to attack in a particular way, or vulnerable to emotional manipulation, or
Just like people there that are anticipating me and like being the center of attention and this. I don't know.
well, don't you suppose those people have a love for you?
Yeah, of course.
So what fears you about that love?
I don't know.
The unknownness of
Yeah,
it? The
definitely.
newness?
Mhm.
All right. So have you been playing with different scenarios that might happen in your mind?
Of course. Yeah.
Describe a couple of them to us.
Just going there and being like, what's it gonna be like? Like how many are going to be? Like I'm told like I have a huge family there and all these cousins and aunts and
Yes.
uncles, and you know, is it gonna be celebratory or is it gonna be awkward, or is it just gonna feel like I've known them my whole life? Or
Well, it can be a bit of both. It can be anything. And as you have this genetic connection, the resonance field that you can attune to through your genes will be activated, and there will be this deep sense that there is something bigger bringing you together. So, yes, we do see this as a good path, and we would also say play with the stories that you are projecting out and ask yourself the questions: what would be the very best thing that could happen, and what could be the very worst thing that could happen? And as you play out the very best thing that could happen, you may attune to this feeling of unconditional love or agape. And if you can live your life motivated and floating through that energy, there will be a great expansion. And when you can bring that energy, you can bring, as the channel described, your natural heart's shine and let it glow through you into the experience, that is what you will receive in return. You can know and trust that. If when you ask yourself what could be the worst thing could happen, you will start to see these deeper fears and anxiety that affect other areas of your life as well. And if you start to figure out what is the thread of connection, what is that core thing that I don't want other people to see about me, what is that core thing that I don't want to experience with other people, what do I not want others to think about me, these sorts of questions will help you see the parts of you that need the most love and care. And when you can release that fear and that emotion of constriction simply by loving yourself and accepting those parts of you and the potentiality for what you would describe as rejection or discomfort as something that can be endured in a beautiful way, you won't be acting out of these fears. You won't be reacting to those fears in the moment. So, yes, we would say that this is a helpful way to gain some self-understanding and anchor into love. And of course, beyond that, continuing to focus on your own self-care and what brings you to feel the most calm and in your own joy will add to that love so that when you go, you will be able to emit the love. So, again, you can receive it in return. Though we assure you that as we read the energy of these people, they are very loving and they are very excited to meet you. And it may be a very new experience that will certainly bring through many flushes of emotion that release through you to hold that space of great love. So be excited and know that it will never be as bad as you think it may be. But playing with the ideas of what might go wrong will tell you a lot about yourself.
thank you.
Yes, our thanks to you as well. Can you play with that? Does that sound...
Mm-hmm.
All right, good.
Can I ask one more?
Yes, most certainly.
I guess I have a bit of a sensitivity to people's energies,
Yes.
and sometimes when people are experiencing maybe something they're not enjoying, and then I am near them, it's like I can take it into myself, like almost it can feel like knives stabbing into my heart.
Yes.
And I'm aware of many like techniques, that I know, but they never seem to actually have an impact and stick, and ways just to, be sensitive to things, but not have to live in like pain of going into places or being around certain people, because it just gets stronger and stronger. Do you have any like techniques or anything?
Well, there are many techniques that you can use, and you have been practicing that help you simply cope easier with those situations when they arise. Though what we say may be different from what many say, and we say that it is sometimes better to simply remove your influence, or remove the influence of certain kinds of people that are very triggering for you, as oftentimes when this is occurring, it is a reflection of being out of resonance with other field. You are connecting with people that do not have that core compatibility, and it will always bring about that sort of discomfort. So it is really a matter in the sense of learning who to choose to bring into allyship and closeness, and which connections bring about the best in you and which bring about this challenge. For the truth of it is that you are not actually separate beings at all, and the same energy that flows through one of you flows through all of you. When there is something in the field, some of you will simply instantly be in the vibration of that, and setting clear boundaries of this is my vibration and this is what I want to focus on and what I want to feel would be helpful. Turning on that glow of your heart light and keeping your focus directed towards your spirit, and the passion within your heart will of course help you. And as well, developing more clearly these lower chakras, imagining them as defining forces that can be programmed very clearly to what you do want and what you don't want. When you can actually own your preferences and not be subservient to others' needs and preferences, allowing yourself to take up space, allowing yourself to be an influence in your space rather than simply a victim of your space, then you will be able to literally push away these energies. So imagine as if your aura here has some leaky spots. There's some patches where the energy field around you is too close to your body and does not have a big enough orbit, a big enough field. So it's as if you have to open and widen these lower chakras so that your auric field gets bigger, that it actually extends further outside of your body, giving you the ability to push away these energies. And when you deepen in your own connection with source and passion and love, your ability to do this will be greater. So again, owning what you do want and what you don't want, and being able to communicate that clearly in every moment will be the greatest ally. Rather than saying, I don't want to feel this way to yourself alone, you can say to other people when they seem ready to hear it, I am feeling what you are feeling. Can we process this so I don't have to go through it with you? In a very, in a way that they can understand, but that is the gist of it that you must translate. Do you see what we're saying?
Yeah, no, this is all extremely helpful.
All right. So, yes, this can be a way that you can tap into that. And as more of this grounded emanation comes from you, you will be able to use this empathic gift to be an energy intuitive in your own way with others and support them in understanding themselves. So this process of understanding yourself is part of a bigger process of how you are giving back to the collective.
Thank you.
Our thanks to you as well. Any final questions before we conclude this transmission?
Did you ask one, Destiny? Everybody's asking.
She they've combined.
Are we complete?
I think so.
I think so.
All right. Let us conclude then with a closing meditation. First of all, affirming that you are spirit, and as spirit, you can open to contact with so many other beings at any time. This tool that we will share is a way that you can open again to this greater light, and through that, allow for connections to others to emerge from your heart. Bringing yourself to center and focus in your heart and picturing this great figure 8 symbol, a loop of infinity that begins to move back and forth, dancing from one side of the loop to the other, and every time it moves through that central point, the light that travels through it gets brighter. Your heart becomes lighter. And out of that first loop of infinity, see another one that is birthed, and switches, turning upon its side to create a second infinity loop that goes down to the base of your spine, travels up through your heart, up to the crown of your head, and back down through your heart. And feel how the heart expansion moving in this direction allows energy to move up to your crown, back down to your root, and up to your crown again, rapidly. Every time it moves, expanding the light. As this channel opens, bring all of your awareness into your spine. Feel a core column of energy through your spine that lifts and straightens as this energy moves. And allow this core column of energy to then expand all the way up to the center of the universe and all the way down to the center of the earth. Then allow the core column to open up into a great pillar that surrounds your body, perhaps with 5-6 feet in its diameter. And through this crystal chamber flows liquid light up and down in both directions, flowing through your vessel, cleansing, purifying with every breath. First, follow this thread down, seeing great roots of light from your heart that grow downwards through the pillar of light, out through your feet and the base of your spine and into the earth. Picture those roots moving through the roots of all the other plants, the grids of mycelium around the planet, taking in electromagnetic impulses. Your feet suckling, nurturing yourself with these energies in this way, allowing it to peer to you in any way you wish. See the roots growing deeper to the mineral, metal, crystal kingdoms, where all the same elements that compose this natural realm compose your body. See these electric energies moving up through your body and back down to the earth, into your body and back down into the earth, in this dance. See the energies drop down deeper to this level of magma, the lava within the earth, going down to the core molten part of the earth where there's great light. There's a brilliant sun within the earth itself, illuminating. And feel this heat rise up through your roots and travel back down. Rise up, igniting plasmic force in your body and traveling down. Until you can bring all of this energy directly down to the center of the earth, this iron core crystal, emanating, vibrating at a certain frequency that travels up through all the layers. Feel as if you can feel that frequency in your body, knowing that this core iron pulse is the same resonance that your heart attunes to. The iron within the earth is the iron that pumps through your blood. So imagining this crystal energy of the earth moving up through this chamber and resting in your body with the earth's heart coming into yours. Feeling grounded, supported, reaffirming to yourself that you are a part of nature, not outside of it. And as you are a part of nature, you are also in space. So allow for that spaciousness to emerge, seeing great threads of light that move from your heart up through your brain now. First beginning with these 2 strands of silver and gold moving up to the moon and sun that weave together and attune you to the dance of these two energies, with the moon now at its peak, transmitting to you this great cycle of emotional movement, of release, feeling the power the moon has in activating your emotional body to feel deeper, to grow brighter, to know yourself and your rhythms and cycles. Feel the sun's energy supporting, giving life all times. And see the silver and gold dance together and appear to you in its own way. It's the teaching of balance and unity. As it descends into your body, allow yourself to again travel up, seeing a great matrix of energy that emerges from your sun and travels out throughout the galaxy. Picturing now the great stars beyond the galaxy, and intending that your consciousness drift to these sibling stars of your sun, Alcyon, Maya, Arcturus, Sirius, and Taurus, whichever you choose. Knowing that you need know nothing about them, or what they look like, to draw that connection in your imagination. And asking for this energy to pour in through this chamber, or even like a funnel, into your crown chakra and down to your heart. And lifting up finally once more past all the stars into this supermassive black hole in the center of your universe. Traveling through what seems as if a great emanation of darkness into its central point, where there is infinite light and a wormhole to source into all other multiverse potentialities, universes. Imagining this light pouring down through your crystal chamber. Feeling the galaxy's heart resting with the Earth's heart in your own. And with this connection open, know that many other souls who travel through the cosmos in a similar way can be anchored and grounded here. Picturing another, or perhaps another couple, pillars of light without human bodies in their center emerge in the room and the space around you, and invite a particular being that you may know, or one you would like to know, to come through that pillar of light and express themselves in some way. Know that your imagination and your inner feeling in your heart is enough to translate their presence. As you meet this being, it may be one you've been conversing with in other ways already. It can be a new ally. Yet allow this final transmission of sound and presence to deepen you in relation to this other who appears before you. Know that your own heart center and emotional body receives this information, receives this connection, picturing that pathway of energy between their pillar of light and yours center itself in the heart. And this pathway of energy that dances like the figure eight move back and forth between your heart and their heart. And then other pathways connect your heart, the heart of all the other humans here, and their guides together, all hearts merging in this great matrix of energy with its center, the center of the room. As all of this heart energy fuses and bridges together, it unifies you with the universal love of Source and all of your allies. So in this final space, allow yourself to receive this love, receive these messages. Let go of all attachment and grasping, and simply relax. Know that Any answers that have not yet been received will be received when you relax, and if they are not received now, you do not need to know them now. Simply relax and know that the more you allow yourself to rest as spirit, the more light and love will be received and expressed through you at this time. We love you very much. We will be with you in other ways, and we will now allow the channel to return and resume the procedure.